Shalom from Israel. I am Hananya Naftali with the latest update from the Middle East. Another day, another crazy story in the Middle East, this time in Tehran. How did this happen? What does it mean for Iran? And what message does it send to terrorists around the globe? Let's break it down. In the dead of night, at approximately 2 a.m. on Wednesday, Israel time, a precision missile hit the residence of Ismail Haniyeh, the political leader of the Hamas terror organization, in Tehran. This attack, which Hamas attributes to Israel, resulted in the elimination of Haniyeh and one of his bodyguards. But before we continue, I see that many of you guys are not yet subscribed to my YouTube channel. Please click subscribe. That's all it takes to support my efforts to report the truth. The Iranian Revolutionary Guard Corps confirmed the incident, leaving the Islamic regime scrambling to explain how such an audacious operation could occur in the heart of their capital. This is insane. This strike is not just a blow to Hamas, but a significant embarrassment to the Islamic regime in Iran. Imagine, in the most prestigious part of Tehran, a terrorist leader feeling safe and secure, only to be taken out in a precise and calculated attack. I think it's a clear message. No terrorist is safe. Justice will find you no matter where you hide. This has been a particularly tough season for terrorism, I gotta say. We've seen the elimination of top Hamas and Hezbollah leaders in their, so to say, base countries, and even the dramatic helicopter crash that took the life of Iran's President Raisi and the foreign minister of Iran. Of course, which are terrorists, if you ask me. But the death of Haniyeh in Tehran is a massive blow to the Islamic regime. It's not just a physical strike, but a symbolic one. Because for years, Iran has harbored and supported leaders of terrorist organizations, thinking them as untouchable. This operation, whether claimed or not by Israel, showcases the vulnerabilities within Iran's own borders. For Iran, this is more than just an embarrassment. It's a catastrophic failure of their security apparatus. If a high-profile target like Haniyeh can be eliminated right under their noses, what does it mean about their ability to protect the supreme leader, Khamenei? The Iranian Supreme National Security Council is now scrambling to decide on a response strategy, but any retaliatory move would only further expose their weaknesses. And of course, keep in mind, they do not have the support of the majority of Iranians who are sitting and waiting for an opportunity to revolt and topple this regime. Yes, Iranian people are celebrating and dancing whenever this Islamic regime is suffering, because they feel like their country has been taken away from them. They feel like they have been taken hostages inside their own country by the radical Islamic regime. Now, the message to terrorists worldwide is crystal clear. Your time is running out. From Tehran to Gaza, those who think that they can escape justice by hiding behind in bunkers or geographical boundaries, they're mistaken. The elimination of Haniyeh, following the recent deaths of other terrorist leaders, underscores a relentless pursuit of justice. Haniyeh's death makes the world a little better. The Iranian regime is evil. We can all agree on that. They support, finance, and harbor terrorists who aim to destroy Israel and spread chaos. They talk about defending their own dignity and honor, but what honor is there in supporting murderers? Their threats to retaliate against Israel only reveal their true nature. These threats are nothing new. Israel stands strong, resilient, and unafraid. We have faced their threats before, and we will continue to stand against them. This regime, with its dark ambitions and support for terror, is on the wrong side of history. And if you ask Iranian people, their days are very much numbered. The elimination of Haniyeh is part of a broader pattern. Recently, top Hezbollah commander Fuad Shukr was killed in Lebanon, marking another significant blow to the Iranian-backed terror axis, the axis of evil. The deaths of these leaders are more than just isolated incidents. They represent a systematic dismantling of terror networks that have plagued the region for decades. Even within Hamas, Haniyeh was not without his critics. There were reports of disagreements between him and Yahya Sinwar, who is right now hiding like a coward under some neighborhood in Gaza. They had disagreements over strategy and negotiations. Haniyeh's death is likely to amplify these tensions, potentially crippling the organization's operational capabilities even more. Now, you have to understand how dramatic these events are. Ismail Haniyeh has long been a primary target due to his leadership role in Hamas. In 2003, he narrowly avoided an Israeli airstrike that targeted a gathering of Hamas leaders in Gaza, which led to the deaths of several senior members, although Haniyeh himself survived. In 2004, Haniyeh was targeted again when the IDF attempted an airstrike on his home, resulting in casualties but sparing his life. During the 2014 Gaza conflict, Haniyeh was a significant target as the IDF launched extensive operations against Hamas leadership, and yet he managed to evade these efforts. More recently, in this war, his 3 sons were killed in an Israeli airstrike in Gaza. So targeting him, but this time in Iran, is a major development, showing that whoever did this is capable of doing a lot more. The reactions to Haniyeh's death have been quite interesting. While Hamas mourns the loss of their leader, calling it a cowardly act. By the way, when Israel eliminated the Hezbollah, the number 2 Hezbollah leader in Beirut, they condemned it and called Israel's actions barbaric. I mean, look who's talking. Hamas, that says in their charter that they vow to destroy Israel, they're the ones that carry out barbaric actions. Now, moving from Hamas to the Palestinian Authority, Mahmoud Abbas, the Palestinian president, condemned the assassination. Of course, it's no surprise given to his long-standing opposition to Israel. But Iran, on the other hand, has promised retaliation. President of Iran, Masoud Pezeshkian, whose inauguration Haniyeh was attending, because let's remember, he was recently elected, declared that Iran would make the terrorist occupiers regret their cowardly act. But let's be honest. These are empty threats from a regime that is in its last desperate moments. From a biblical standing point, this is a battle between good and evil. Proverbs 11 verse 21 says, "Be sure of this, the wicked will not go unpunished, but those who are righteous will go free." Haniyeh's death is proof of this truth. Evil deeds will ultimately face justice. The elimination of Ismail Haniyeh is a significant milestone in the fight against terrorism. It sends a powerful message to terrorists everywhere. You are not safe, and justice will find you, and you will be held accountable for your actions. Actions have consequences. This is a victory not just for Israel, you have to understand, but for all those who seek peace and justice. Together, we can make this world a safer, more just place. And remember, today more than ever is the time to stand with Israel that stands against terror and works towards peace. And also, remember that by shopping at theisraelstore.com, you are not only getting products, but also supporting the fight against BDS and anti-Israel haters. Every purchase is a stand against those who seek to undermine Israel's right to exist and thrive. Shalom, and thank you so much for joining me today. Until next time, stand strong and stay informed. Shalom.